The buzzing of clippers filled the Cupertino barbershop, drowning out the silence between us. Hair clung to the checkered floor, scattered like ashes. The mirrors on the wall reflected not just our faces but the absence of everyone who used to be here with us. Once our friend group would crowd into the same shop after school at Monte Vista, laughing at each other's bad fades, sipping cheap mango smoothies from the bodega down the street, and swearing that nothing could split us apart. Sterling was always the loudest, the one who dared us to sneak into places we shouldn't, the one who swore we'd stay friends forever. The barber hated how noisy we were, always muttering that one day Stephen, the shop's strangest, quietest regular, would walk in and finally shut us up. We'd laugh and say, if Stephen ever shows up, it means the world's ending. But time and tragedy don't listen. Jonah never came back after the crash on Stevens Creek Boulevard. His seat at the barbershop stayed empty, the joke he was about to tell stuck forever on the tip of our memories. Mia's funeral followed, her coffin looking too small, her laugh already fading. Sam's house in the Cupertino foothills was boarded up one day, and we heard whispers about what his father had done, but no one dared say it out loud. Emily wasted away under fluorescent lights at Valley Medical until she disappeared, leaving her chair here unclaimed too. Sterling lasted the longest, but even he wasn't invincible. His absence was the loudest of all, a silence that clung like smoke. Now it was only me and Adrian, waiting in the same shop where we once thought we'd always belong. The barber droned on with his work, the hum of blades sounding almost like a dirge. A smear of mustard on the counter from someone's half-eaten sandwich looked more alive than either of us. My throat tightened. Adrian, explain our friend group. He didn't look at me. He just ran a hand across the fresh cut on his head, a grim smile twitching at his lips. I got the haircut for just a quarter. And then, as if the air itself had been listening, the glass door shuddered and swung open. A cold draft crept in, though the California night outside was warm. The lights flickered. A figure stepped through the doorway, tall, heavy with shadow, his footsteps silent against the tile. The barber froze mid-motion, clippers buzzing in mid-air. My stomach sank. I knew who it was before I even turned. Stephen walked inside. His eyes didn't look human. Stephen here. Only then did I notice what he was holding. A steaming cup. The liquid inside darker than night. The letters on the paper sleeve burned backward as if by some unseen hand. It didn't say coffee. It said EFOC. I swallowed hard, my voice cracking as I forced out the question. Stephen, do you know Sterling? Stephen's smile widened, but his voice was flat, empty. I don't know Sterling. And then, faint at first, drifting in through the flickering lights, came the sound of brass horns and solemn drums. The melody was unmistakable, growing louder as if a procession was marching straight toward the barbershop from beyond the veil. When the saints go marching in, the walls shook, the mirrors rattled, and still, Stephen just sipped from his cup. But then something shifted. Instead of fire or judgment, a bus pulled up outside. Its destination board simply read, San Jose International Airport. Nobody questioned it. The barber set down his clippers. Adrian stood. Even Stephen followed. Together, as if compelled by something bigger than us, we boarded. A few hours later, the plane touched down in Ohio. For the first time in years, the air didn't feel heavy. The grief we carried seemed to scatter across the flat horizon, leaving room for something else. In a strange way, Ohio felt like a second chance. We walked into a McDonald's together, still smelling faintly of barbershop hair and jet fuel. The manager handed us job applications without a word. One by one, at the age of 41, we filled them out, our pens scratching like a hymn. By the end of the day, we all had the same job, bagging fries. And somehow, impossibly, it felt like joy.